to work at Little Caesars. So I'm going to tell you what I did. And this is going to be hilarious. So when I was working there, there's this, you got to first start out with the dough. And to do that, you mix 1 bag of flour, which was like this big. And then you put that and a little tiny bag of, about that big of yeast. And then I believe, don't quote me, 4 quarts of oil. Or not oil, water. Couldn't think. Okay, so you turn it into this little mark that they got on there. It's always the manager marking it, and it's always with a knife or something to keep the mark there. So you turn it there, and then you wait, and it goes ding. And when it goes ding, you get this big old thing of mixed dough in this machine. And you gotta pour it out into this white bucket that's about this big. It's got handles, and it's got oil in it so it don't stick. And what you do is you pour it out of the machine into that. And you have to make sure you get all the dough out of the machine. And then you go here, and boom. You take it off and you got dough. So you got dough. It's like this, it's dough, okay? It's nothing but dough. And then I think it's 4 ounces. You got like this little scale. You got this little thing. It's like a white handle with a metal about this long, and it's about curved like that. So it's like cutting into the dough so you can grab the right amount of dough from the dough. And then you chop it up, or you chop it off, and you weigh out 4 ounces, and then you fold it into itself, and you put it on this tray that holds about 12 to 15 of the little 4-ounce roll things, and then you put a little label on it for whatever day it is. I think it's 3 days later you got to put it on, or a day later, 2 days, depending on the type of dough you make. You got regular dough, which is for like your pepperoni and your supreme and your meat lovers pizza. And then you got deep dish dough, which is totally different dough. You got this type of dough, and then you got this type of dough. Both those are different. Anyway, so you got this sheet, which is like 12 to 15 little rolled things. It's going to turn into pizza later. Let's explain that. Out of breath. You got that sheet, and then you take that and put it in the freezer. And you got this rack that you're supposed to fill up in a day. And you're to fill up a rack, you probably got to make 4, depending on, if it's an empty rack, you got to make 5. So anywhere from 3 to 5 batches of dough a day. And it depends on if you have deep dish dough. And if you don't have deep dish dough, that's fun to say, deep dish dough. Deep dish dough. Anyway, if you don't have deep dish, you got to make that as well. Which sucks. It's like 2 bags of yeast and like 50,000 pounds of flour. I don't know. It's a pain to make, and a pain to roll, and a pain to do, and I didn't like it. I like the regular dough. So after you put the dough in there, and you got all this, after you put this big old thing of dough on the sheets, and you put it in the freezer, then you got to do the sheet out machine, and like you grab, face the camera this way. Yes, there's brownage here. Who cares? You got to grab like one of the sheets, and then you got this little spatula that looks like this, only it's a little bigger and a little flatter. And you got to like peel the dough off the sheet, and then roll them in flour, or no, peel them off, stretch them out, roll them in flour, and then it's a multi-layered machine. It's got a slit on the top here where the dough goes in, and it's got a little hole down here where the dough comes out, and it's all stretched out. And then you have to never ever do this in front of your boss, but you can twirl it like you see in movies or whatever. Mostly you're supposed to just put it in the pan, which is just a round pizza pan like that or whatever. You put it in there and you stretch it out to the edges. After you put the pizza seasoning, whatever, it's the, I don't forget what they're called. It's like little granules that comes off on the bottom of the pizzas when you get from Little Caesars. Yeah, it's those little granules. You put that on there, and then you put the dough on there, and you get a pizza. Well, you got the makings of a pizza. You got the pizza dough. And then you stack that up 10. I remember that very specifically. 10. I always put 12. And they always are like, no, do 10. I said, redo it. That was bad. My boss loved me, though. Anyway, after you put 10 in a stack, you push them over to the prep table. On prep table, you got all your toppings, all your sauce, everything there. You put the sauce on there, put whatever toppings, and then you push it on to put it on this rack. It's either this rack or there's one by the oven. And then you normally put it, if there's no pizza in the oven, you put the pizza in the oven. You get a top and a bottom. No. Was it top and bottom? I think it was top and bottom. Yeah, it was top and bottom. You got a top level and a bottom level. I think normally the top level was for like deep dish and pizza crust or whatever, or pizza bread, or like the cheesy bread that comes at Little Caesars. And then with landing, if you're backed up, you got to be really quick. So you got this tongs. I always use my right hand, and you got the spatula, and you got the box. You got to pull this, do this, and pizza flops out, and you close it, put it in the hot box for whoever's coming to get it. And basically, that's what you do at Little Caesars. And then you got front register, and you got drive-through.
Okay, but it begins with what?
It begins with the dough. You got to have the dough. If you ain't got the dough, you ain't got no dang pizza.
How much dough?
Yeah, a lot of dough. You ain't got no specific amount of dough, you just gotta have dough. Dough. Normally, there'd be like 7 to 10 racks of full of the little trays of dough. 12 to 15 on each. So you got all this dough that makes the pizza. And if you ain't got the dough, you ain't got no pizza. If you ain't got no pizza, you ain't got no franchise. Yeah!